Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the last day, that is 7th day of 1 week international seminar on women, child development, maternal health, breastfeeding, awareness, education, environment, health, well-being, and sustainable development 2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing and other collaborators and fraternity. We welcome you all once again on the last day of 1 week international conference. Before we start today's sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we welcome you once again to the last day of 1 week international conference. It is international seminar on women, child development, maternal health, breastfeeding, awareness, education, environment, health, well-being, and sustainable development 2023, commemorating World Breastfeeding Week 2023. Which is commemorated every year from 1st to 7th August, empowering women and empowering parents, and let's make breastfeeding and work, and various other themes. In the past 1 week, we have discussed intensively on various topics of breastfeeding, including, but not limited to, what is breastfeeding, why it is important, how it is contributing to the mother, child, family, community, nation, and planet at large, in all terms, including physiologically, psychologically, emotionally, socially, culturally, economically, and also financially, to the family, to the community, and to the planet at large. And we have seen how breastfeeding empowers women and children, as breastfeeding provides an opportunity for a sense of control of what to feed, how much to feed a baby, when to feed. This also helps the women to take control and also to manage her health as well as child health, and helps in boosting confidence of women and decision making, and empowering women through the decision making process, and also health and well-being of not only the mother and child but also the entire family. We also looked at various aspects of breast milk, challenges, myths, taboos, and how to address them. We also took in detail about the physiology, anatomy of breast and breastfeeding. We also looked at biochemistry and components of human milk. And we also seen the comparative analysis of the human breast milk with other mammalian milk like cow milk, buffalo milk, goat milk, and various other milk. And we also have seen the ratios and the percentage of components of various vitamins, minerals, and other components of milk, and how they are catering to the health and nutrition of both mother and as well as child. And we have also seen how breastfeeding is contributing in achieving sustainable development goals, and it is contributing to all the 17 goals and in achieving the 2030 agenda. And we have also seen a simple change in attitude or a simple decision of breastfeeding the child by the mother, by the father or the spouse, by the family, contributes a lot, not only just to mother and to the child, to the family, but to the community and nation and planet at large. And how breastfeeding fosters child and mother's health, nutrition, and also needs. And at a greater extent, it empowers the child by boosting immunity to fight various illness, diseases, and disorders, not just in the period of breastfeeding, but for the entire life. And we have seen how the breast mortality rates among the breastfed babies and non-breastfed babies, the mortality rate is higher, and also the vulnerability of prone to illness, diseases, and infections is higher, those who are not breastfed. And we have also seen how to express breast milk when mother and child is separated because of various clinical and medical conditions. We have looked in brief about such medical conditions and treatment. And we have also seen how to store, how to collect, how to express, how to store, and how to feed the baby with the human breast milk when the mother is away, especially with the working mothers, where mother is not available or when mother cannot express milk at workplace or while traveling, mother also gets an opportunity to express the milk and store it in a safe container at appropriate temperatures and feed the baby frequently as and when required in public, at public places and workplaces, or anywhere wherever the mother and baby is, without any issues. And we also have seen at a policy level, at program level, and at various levels, how and what kind of changes needs to be brought to promote breastfeeding. And we have also seen the various practices that the infant feed and formula milk manufacturers are adopting aggressively to demotivate breastfeeding mothers and to curtail the breastfeeding process, which is the most essential. In fact, the breastfeeding is the right of a child and also is a duty of mother. And no mother would forgo such a great benefit of being a fully well-fed, nutritious food, and the great boon of the nature-given, God-given, and the mother-given breast milk, which provides the lifelong protection to baby. No mother would like to destroy such a great protection or hinder such a great potential to any child on the planet. So now it's a greater responsibility that lies with the mother along with the spouse and family members to take a decision not to take a decision not to adopt to any infant milk products or other feed until 6 months and continue strictly, exclusively on breastfeeding till 6 months, and after 6 months, along with the supplement foods, continue to breastfeed the baby for another 2 years. So total 2.5 years, if the baby is breastfed along with the supplementary foods, the baby, the research has shown that baby is going to be healthy even in aged of the entire tenure. And it also, breastfeeding empowers gender equality, gender empowerment, as both, irrespective of whether it is a male child or a female child, everyone is given equal opportunity to provide adequate nutrition and equal opportunities and potentials. And we also see through the awareness and empowerment, it is everyone's responsibility to promote breastfeeding in the society. And we have also seen various other aspects of environment, how breastfeeding is related to environment, and also how it is promoting to maternal health of mother. And today, actually, we had few queries when we were having sessions. One repeated query we got is, when we spoke about different types of nipples, especially, and was quite common, and we could not answer at that time because of time constraints. But there have been queries on this issue, particular issue of unwanted hair on breasts. And this is also quite common nowadays due to various reasons. There is this issue of unwanted hair, which is both equally important and widely prevalent for both the genders, men and women. So there are various home remedies which have been very effective since time immemorial. We have seen there is a practice in our households, especially girls and women. They used to, from childhood, they used to apply this turmeric paste to entire body, and they used to massage and give bath. Similar way, sandalwood paste is also used to apply to the entire body, especially for girls and women. Then used for applying for the entire body and give massage, and then given a bath from childhood. It is widely practiced. Actually, this not only boosts the immunity and also addresses various skin issues, skin and health related issues, but this also addresses the greatest concern. Of course, it's not a greatest concern as it is mentioned, but many are worried, especially girls and women. Even boys also are, nowadays, boys, men are also worried about this hair, unwanted hair at unwanted places. But it is also a good, maybe due to limited time, we are not discussing in that, but again, that is a different topic altogether. But in brief, we would like to take few minutes to discuss on that, because that is also important. We see, nowadays because of hormones, excessive hormones and oxytocins that are fed to the cattle, and because of drinking more milk, which are highly with hormones and oxytocins and various other factors, girls, women, and even men are also facing these excessive hair growth issues. And at the same time, they are also facing these hair loss issues also. Of course, altogether, as I have mentioned, it will take one session completely. We'll be discussing that also in coming days. We will take it up. But today, in brief, we will discuss on that. Then we'll go for the presentations. So, this American Academy of Dermatology the dermatologists of American Academy of Dermatology Association have suggested few ways to manage this problem of skincare management or hair removal. So there are various kinds of treatments, especially. And first is prevention. The prevention is we are getting away with these traditional practices of applying turmeric, of applying sandal powder, to the bodies and giving it a massage. And apart from that, we are also have the practice of making homemade herbal powder, which is also applied to babies, even adults also. I don't know what it is called in other languages, but that is popularly known as bathing powder, that is prepared from cereals and various other, food items only, along with turmeric and sandalwood powder. So if you, in your cultures or in your languages, if you know what it is called, you can leave in chat box. I'm not able to recollect at this point, but in Telugu, they call it as sundipindi. So that is like bathing powder. Instead of soap, earlier they were using that. And, like shikakai, that is, used for washing hair. Similarly, for body, that herbal powder or natural organic powder has been used. So that is the best, and certain oils were also used to massage the entire body. So that keeps the skin glowing and also healthy, and also prevent growth of hair and keep the skin shiny, bright, and also without any diseases, skin-related infections. But this practice is slowly going off as the markets are flooded with various creams and no one gives advertisement, right? Because they are there available in the home, and the new business house has come with already international brands. We know a lot of brands have poured into the market with various products and they want to make business. So no one provides a free ad, right? Does anyone provide a free ad on TV channel, on radio channel, or in the newspaper? Anyone provides free ad? No. Every time you watch an ad, they pay some lakhs and lakhs of rupees. Do you know how much a 30-second ad costs in radio, in TV, or a full page ad costs in newspaper? How much we need to pay? Just Google it, you will know how much you have to pay. And it again varies on the circulation. Number of viewers, number of audience that channel is subscribed. The channel has. And also the prime time, morning 6 to 9, evening 6 to 9. This is generally known as prime time in media. That is the time where maximum viewers, audience are hooked to the media, including newspaper also. That is the time, mostly we spend some time to read newspapers or listen to radio or listen to TV for news or various other programs, because that is the time generally we start our day and end our day. So we would also like to know, we are also, most of them are at different levels, we are also curious to know what is happening around us, across the world, or at least around us, around our communities, around our states or nations. So that is the prime time, 6 to 9, morning and evening. And that is the greatest price hike. You have to pay a huge amount to get a slot. And other timing, you can get additional 2-3 times. You can get 4-5 slots also. But the same slot in this prime time cost even 10 times, 20 times also. Again, it depends on the channel. So, but we see how many ads. Well, just imagine from morning to evening, you count the number of ads. The same ad being displayed from morning to evening every day for months. There are some ads which are displayed months together and even years together also. Can you imagine? Can you calculate what is the cost of advertising itself only on TV or only on radio or only in railway stations or only on hoardings? If you calculate, of course, this is also altogether a different topic, but why I'm telling is, the breast infant feed or the formula milk, it is promoted in such a way, they invest a lot. They leave no stone unturned, to promote their products and to spread wide myths and misinformation, disinformation to the public so that they stop feeding their babies and with breast milk and they start adopting this. Similar way, even with lot of these cosmetics have flooded into the market in a similar way, and we stop using this purely natural, organic, herbal paste. Because of that, now you can see it's quite common. Let us keep aside men for some time. Most of the women and girls today are having hair almost on all parts of the body. So why this is more happening? That is one reason. That is major reason. Culturally, traditionally, that practice is getting away. And instead of that, we are going with more and more this chemical based that is creating a lot of issues. So see, we are the ones who have to decide what's best for us. We should not be influenced by the media or the propaganda. And ultimately, our choices, our decisions, so our consequences. We are taking such a decision, so we have to face the consequence. Always our consequences are due to our decisions which we have taken. If we had taken a better decision, we could have had a better consequence. Often we worry or we think, why I am facing this consequence? Because we have taken a decision. Decision to do something or not to do something. To act upon or to not to act upon. To react or respond. So all the consequences today we are facing are because of our decisions, taken or not taken. So similarly, and we have to face the consequence. Of course, again, when we are going to face, that again depends. But the most important thing is we have to take informed decision so that we know what is going to happen. And we are prepared for the consequence so that we can manage it. See, we all know we are consuming these medicines, especially modern medicine, allopathy. You take any tablet, just read it on the stripe, you'll see so many side effects. You just Google it, go to drug book, you just read at least each tablet, each medicine, each capsule will have at least 1 to 2 pages side effects, precautions, cautions, contradictions. Have you ever gone through any tablet you are taking? It may be paracetamol or it may be, Of course, it is known by different names, ibuprofen or paracetamol or Cold-Act, or, all these have similar. Paracetamol is common in all those because it relieves pain. So similarly, whatever you are consuming, you know that it has side effects, right? But still you consume because you want to get instant relief. You don't want to wait. Everything takes some time. You don't want to give time so that it subsides naturally. It gets cured naturally. We are in the rat race. We are in the competition. We want to go forward at any cost. So we are not even bothering to use steroids or hormones for overcoming this pain or illness or diseases, because we want instant relief. We want results in seconds, in hours. And that will definitely have side effects because nothing happens in seconds or minutes. Because, of course, we don't know that it takes time, but we can only sense it in minute or second. But that process is happening since some time. Only we were able to realize that something is happening or after something has happened. So similar way, certain things like even cosmetics, you just Google it. You have patent documents for each product. You just go through the patent or you just go through the research trials documents, trial findings or research documents of products. Generally, cosmetics all are, their research has to be published on the public domain. But have you ever Googled and searched? You Google a lot of things. But have you ever Googled and got those research reports and read them? How that product was approved? What are the ingredients? And what are the different phases it has gone through to get its approval? And all these aspects are there. If you come to really know about it, you know how many animals have been sacrificed, killed, tortured, suffered to bring those products from animal phase trials to human trials. And again, how many humans, especially rural people, tribal people, are used because they pay something, they offer something, and they put without knowing that they are used. And these trials are quite common, and we have seen in media many times. And in India, we have seen many times, and many times we have seen even in media also, many pharmaceutical companies have performed such an unofficial or unethical trials on human beings. They offer some ransom, or they, because many people are living in poverty and they don't know, they are not provided with complete information. And they are provided some amount or some benefits, and they are used as animals for the experiments. Of course, we have also spoken about this on our platform at different occasions on commemorations. So all these are there without knowing what is that medicine for and when it should be taken, how much it should be taken, and what combination should be avoided. These are different issues that we are going to face. So similarly, we are talking about skincare, and especially the hair issues, unwanted hair issues. So there are different ways to remove. The prevention is, as I said, we have to use products that does not promote hair growth and that prevents hair growth, like these natural remedies, which are time tested and still are very valid, reliable today and widely used also. So that is the best thing to prevent. And apart from that, now how to remove, how to prevent further growth. So especially with this context of World Breastfeeding Week, we are talking about unwanted hair, of course, all over the body, but we are more focused on the breast area. So when the breast has hair, now it is difficult for the baby, and as well as due to maybe hygiene issue is also there. So all these issues are there, but these are applicable to the entire body, though our focus is on breast. So there are different methods. When it comes to removing unwanted hair, you have options, wide range of options. And there is a lot of disinformation, misinformation available. So it is always a difficult one to choose what is best for you. So that's why it is very important to make an informed decision. So better know what you are doing before you do it. And to make an informed decision, you need to learn about the facts, certain facts. So let's see what are the popular ways of getting rid of hair or removing this hair. The first and simple thing is by shaving the hair. So when you shave, the razor cuts the hairs at the surface of your skin so that you cannot see the hairs. So, but it has its own challenges. You can shave any area of the body, but you have to be careful, especially when you are shaving sensitive areas of body like private parts, including breast, because they are sensitive and razors can harm or create rashes. So, of course, nowadays we have twin blade and triple blade and also, different kinds of razors. So you can choose appropriately and based on the affordability and reusability. So you can shave any area of the body and you can quickly learn how to shave also. And don't experiment on the private parts if you are new to shaving. Don't directly shave on private parts, because often, those who are new to shaving, we also have seen, they have cut, accidentally because they don't know how to properly shave. So, it is very difficult and embarrassing also many times. And it is also very difficult in times, not for the medical professionals, but as an individual to share unless and until you are comfortable. Because generally, people don't open up when something is related to the private parts. So not everyone. So that's why you try it. And there are different ways of learning. You can do it on a balloon first, so that you know how much pressure you are putting. You can take a balloon and you can put shaving cream on that, with or without shaving cream. You apply some cream or shaving cream so that you know how you are removing the cream from the balloon, which is balloon filled with air. So that if you are applying somewhere, the balloon will or if the razor blade is cutting the layer of the balloon, it will burst. So that means the same technique when you apply on the skin, it is going to cut your skin. And especially these private parts like breast are very sensitive skin. And once there is a cut over there, again, you have to bear with that cut until that cut is, cured. Sometimes if it is deep, then stitches might also be required. So there are certain challenges. So first learn how to shave, if at all it is required. But that is a very simple process, no need to worry. Everyone, men are already used to it over a period of time, shaving their, beard and everything. Now, women also have started using nowadays. It is also became quite common to remove unwanted hair. So shaving is painless unless you cut yourself. So be careful and try to practice it. Unlike waxing or laser hair removal, this is simple process. Waxing is again a painful, and especially on sensitive parts and private parts, it is more painful. So shaving is painless, but the results are short-lived because the hair keeps growing. So you might need to shave daily or every few days or at least a week, once in a week to maintain your results. It depends on the hair growth. So this is a temporary thing. You have to repeat this. And frequent shaving can also irritate your skin. So if you put more pressure, if you are not using good sharpened razors, and if you are putting more pressure or, it can irritate the skin and there might be rashes and different kind of problems. And the shaving creams are also highly contains chemical, and that can also cause certain issues. And injuries such as cuts, nicks, and razor burns also happen. So these are also few challenges. And some people who shave develop ingrown hairs. So these are certain issues or challenges while shaving. So now, to avoid or to address these challenges, first learn how to shave. Learn how to get a clean, comfortable shave and minimized irritated skin. And right techniques also, and the kind of pressure that is required. And make sure you are calm at a place where you have flexibility and where you are alone. Alone in the sense you have some space. Because when you are using an instrument like a razor, if you are around your children or something like that, who are or with pets, some jumping here and around, if they suddenly fall on you or if they touch your hand or something like that, that sharp razor can cut your skin. So that's why ensure that when you are shaving, make sure that you don't have any distractions or any hazards around. And the other method is waxing. So you can apply wax. Both the ways are there, hot wax, cold wax, to your skin and then quickly remove it, which pulls out the hairs. But this is painful, but this is quite common method. The results can last for a few weeks or longer because the hair is pulled from more deeper in depth. So that will take some more time for the hair to grow. So it lasts for a few weeks. And again, you can wax any area of your body, including large areas and small areas, even legs, hands, and delicate areas such as skin above your lips and even private parts. So waxing takes practice to learn. Again, that needs a lot of practice because it can be a painful process. It is a painful process. Again, the endurance of pain depends from individual to individual. And removing the wax can be painful, as already mentioned. And your newly waxed skin can be red and irritated for a short while after you wax because you are pulling, you are removing the wax. So the skin has to endure the pain and friction. So sometimes you see rashes on your skin, or your skin can turn red, or you can have this reddishness or irritated skin. If the wax is too hot, this is with the cold one, cold wax or the normal wax. If the wax is too hot, it can burn your skin, and it has to be removed very quickly. Otherwise, it will have serious burns that will burn your skin. Sometimes, even it is rare, but we have seen cases of, third-degree burns. But that is quite rare. So don't get afraid. So I'm not making you fear of waxing. Sometimes that is rare cases we have seen, but we have heard, we have seen third-degree burns when people are not aware, but they just try to use very hot wax and they couldn't pull out. And by the time they reached hospital, and it was, it literally turned out to be a third-degree burn. Again, it depends on the quantity of wax and where did you put, the kind of sensitivity and where you have put on your body part. Because across the body, skin has different sensitivity levels. So the medications can thin your skin when the wax is removed. And sometimes this wax can become so hard that it can tear your skin apart also. So you should avoid that also. But be careful. It's not so harmful and not so difficult, but these are the challenges. So waxing is not recommended if you are currently taking isotretinoin or tretinoin, a prescription medication approved to treat severe acne, that is pain, or have taken it within past 6 months. And when you are using antibiotics also, this waxing is prohibited, not recommended. And applying tretinoin, also known as retinoic acid, to your skin is also not recommended. Waxing is not recommended. So especially these medications thin your skin. That's why they make your skin thin. That's why when you apply wax and pull it, it can tear your skin. So that's why it is not recommended. If you are waxing, generally people do waxing at these beauty centers, beauty salons, and therapy centers. But some do at home also. The case I spoke about it, the third-degree burn case, that few women and girls were trying to do waxing at their home. And they had some training, beautician course somewhere, and they tried at home, and they literally bought but they heated the wax to such an extent, but they were not so conscious about the heat temperature of the wax, and they ended up with one of the girl ended up with a 3rd-degree burns with that hot wax. So when you are applying wax at home, make sure how to wax and learn it properly. If not, have someone, an expert, who can handle the waxing process. And at the same time, you can also visit someone who is an expert or who is well trained and adopt the process or go through the process. And there is also other method, depilatories, where you can apply a cream or a lotion or a gel to the skin, which can dissolve unwanted hair. So here the results tend to be last longer when you shave. So this is also you can get rid of hair for a good amount of time. It's quick and easy to use at home. It's very easiest because you apply any lotion, any cream, or any gel, you can apply to your body parts. It is quick and very easy to use at home. Simply apply, wait, and rinse off the cream or gel or lotion at the time stated in the instructions. As per instructions will be given when to wash off the cream, lotion, or gel. It again depends on product to product, brand to brand. So you can apply and wash off, the hair will be removed. Or you can see these products can irritate your skin and also certain times can cause skin issues and also cancers also at times for prolonged use. So you test them, and certain times, there might be, you might be allergic to certain creams, lotions. So you first, before applying to entire body or parts of your body, you test on a small surface. Always remember, whenever you are buying some gel, lotion, or cream, or any cosmetics, always try it first in a small area. You try it on a safe area. That is especially the safest one is hands. You first try it on your hand. If nothing happens, then only you go applying. If something happens, if you see discolored, textured, or swelling, or reddishness, or any difference, then immediately stop using them. Don't use that product. Otherwise, you will end up with a larger problem. So always test. Even if you are using some cosmetic creams also, always first try. Even if you are using a skin lotion or sunscreen or something, anything like that also, you first apply to a smaller portion, like just a drop of it on the hands, because generally hands. You will know if there is no reaction, then it is safe to apply. Certain times the reaction time may be more, but generally 5 to 10 minutes is enough. Sometimes it takes hours or days also. After you apply slowly, it can give reaction. So that is the best way to test yourself. Of course, otherwise also you can take it to lab and get tested. That's a different thing. And some people use a product for months or years before it starts to irritate their skin, as already mentioned. So that reaction time also differs from person to person, product to product, brand to brand. And some people dislike the odor of these products. Sometimes, it can have different kind of smell. So some are allergic to that and some do not like that. again they feel headache or dizzy. So that's why I always test the product before you use it extensively. That's why these cosmetic products, generally cosmetic stores offer you test sample. In most of the stores. And if you feel any kind of irritation, sensation, reaction, then and there you have the option not to buy. And some cosmetic products offer you a sachet. When you are buying a bottle or something, they will offer you a small sachet where you can use it. And if you are not satisfied, you can return the larger pack. Or they will also sometimes offer you a test kit. Test kit means a smaller sachet which has one application or maybe one drop, one pinch of that. You can use it safely. You can try it. If it is good, then you can keep it. Or if you have some reaction, you can show it to the dealer and you can return it back. So that is also one of the safe methods. So especially when you are applying for breasts, you always make sure you try it, test it. Do not directly apply to the breast in this context, but in general to any part of the body. So apply a small amount on area which you want to use it. After, if you found, generally you apply it on hands and see if it is safe, no reaction, then apply a small amount to an area on which you want to use it. Always test before on a different part of body, right? And keep it on your skin for the time stated in the instructions. Generally, every cosmetic product will have this reaction instructions to test for the reaction or allergy. So every product instruction will have a very good product which is really concerned, which follows, code of conduct and ethics, and they always provide instructions of waiting time or the reaction time. So you apply it and wait for the time as mentioned on the literature or on the package until your skin starts to burn or sting or, change the texture or you feel the pain. If nothing happens, no need to worry. If something happens, rinse it off immediately and thoroughly at the time stated, at the first sign of burning, stinging. If you see any reaction, you just immediately rinse off that portion with water. So that means that is not good for you. You have to discard that product. You should not use that product. And if you experience burning or stinging or any kind of reaction, don't use the product. Find another depilatory to test or find another product. If within 24 hours of applying the product, you don't have any skin reaction, you can use the product in that area. Again, first try it on hands, and where it is hands-on, it is very easy to observe and also get treated. And if after 24 hours also nothing happens and you are safe, so you can use it. And when you are using especially in sensitive parts, there also you test it because that is sensitive skin. There also you apply for a small portion first, try it. If nothing happens, wait for 24 hours, then try it on the next day on a larger area. Always be cautious about using that. And the other option is threading. This option involves 2 twisted cotton threads over the unwanted hairs, which rips the hair from the skin out. So since threading removes only the unwanted hair, it is an option for areas such as breasts or eyebrows or wherever you want to keep some hair or remove hair. You can selectively remove the hair. So especially eyebrows, this method is used, threading method. So it's a precise, because generally breast also is not so hairy. You can find here or there. For there also, but again, it's a painful. Breasts are very sensitive and it can cause pain and also certain damage also. So it's a precisely as plucking, much faster. You can remove many hairs at once. So the results can last up to 4 to 5 weeks and it causes a little irritation. So it's an option for sensitive or acne prone skin, as already mentioned. So this is an optional, especially for sensitive skin. And that is for private parts. Other body parts, it's okay. They are not that sensitive. So threading is not suitable for larger areas again. So for small areas and where you want to remove a particular hair or hair strand, so this is very useful. But for a large area, it is a time consuming and it is not recommended or preferred method. And other method is prescription cream. So women apply this cream to the areas on their face or wherever they want less hair. The active ingredient is eflornithine hydrochloride, which helps prevent new hair from growing. So generally in US, we can see these products, branded products like Vanica, E-Flora. These are branded products, but the ingredient is eflornithine hydrochloride. This prevents hair growth, new hair coming up. This prevents new hair growth. This medication can also slow hair growth so that you have less hair in treated areas, usually within 4 to 8 weeks. But you need a prescription for this medication, so you will need to see a dermatologist who has experience treating patients with this medication. So these all are for awareness purpose. Don't try it on yourself unless and until you are sure what you are doing and without an expert guidance. This is just for information purpose only. Always consult a qualified medical professional. So the cream cannot remove existing hair. So you need to remove the unwanted hair in that area and any stray hairs that grow. So this is not for removing the existing hair. First, you need to remove the hair using any of the methods which have been discussed. Or one more method is there, that is also laser hair removal, or any of these methods, or any of the not mentioned methods also. First, you need to remove the entire hair from that part and then apply this medication. So this cream cannot remove existing hair. So you need to remove the unwanted hair in that area and any strays hair that grows. And then you need to apply this medication twice a day for as long as you want to see results as per the prescription. Once you stop applying medication, your hair will regrow. So this is only as long as you don't want hair, you need to apply. And again, longer term use has certain side effects, again, with a caution. So like all medication, this one also have possible side effects. Every medicine on this planet has a side effect, especially modern medicine. Only certain things like Ayurveda. Ayurveda also is completely food only, but you need to avoid certain foods because certain foods are contradictory to each other. Like, so that might aggravate other symptoms or nullify this. So Ayurveda is the most safest. But modern medicine, all medicines, there is no medicine that has no side effects. Every medicine as a side effect. Not just one side effect, multiple side effects. You can go through, verify on any website, or you go to directly the pharma company that produces. You can see the list of side effects. It will run minimum into 1 page. I will also provide you, if you want, FDA, you can go there and you can go type the tablet name or capsule name, syrup name, tonic name, cream name, gel name, or the ingredients. It will show you what are different side effects. Okay. So another method is laser hair removal. The laser emits a beam of light which the pigment color in your hair absorbs. Over time, this can destroy the hair follicle so that hair cannot grow back. While it takes about 6 treatments from a dermatologist to destroy a follicle, the hair will grow back thinner and finer after each treatment. So gradually, the skin will be removed and gradually the hair growth will stop. And if you use it home, we have home laser hair removal products. You need to use the device for a lot longer to see results. You'll also need to use it periodically to maintain results. So it can take 6 treatments or more, even for laser hair removal. But this is permanent, except for on a woman's face. And people of all skin colors can safely have laser hair removal, but the person's performance or performing the procedure on people who have skin of color should have experience performing laser hair removal on darker skin tones. And laser hair removal won't work on blondie, white, gray, or red hair because the lasers can affect target light colored hair. And you will need to keep the treated area covered and out of sun until the skin heals. So there are certain precautions. And also, if you have a tan, you must wait for the tan to fade completely before it's safe to have laser hair removal. So you need to be cautious and have an experienced doctor perform laser hair removal. While laser hair removal may look easy to perform, but it can injure your skin if the person performing your treatment is inexperienced, and possible injuries include burns, blisters, infection, or dark spots, or permanent damage to the skin, which can also cause cancers, because there will be a permanent destruction of cells. So find out if it is safe and effective option for you. Again, it depends from person to person. So a qualified dermatologist can tell you if you are a good candidate for the laser hair removal, because not everyone is qualified. So see your dermatologist before you start using a home laser. And these at-home devices are not for everyone. Be cautious, don't find something and use it. And again, you end up with some skin problems. There are many at-home devices for which to choose. So it will be difficult also again which to buy. Even if you are buying, first see the dermatologist and take suggestion. And also do your research. And one more method is electrolysis. This method sends an electrical current through the hair follicle, which will damage the follicle and prevent hair from growing. Because hair grows in cycle, it takes several seasons to get permanent hair removal. So you can also find that allow you to perform electrolysis at home. Unlike professional electrolysis kits, don't involve inserting probes into your hair follicles. So always try to get these things at by a trainer or an expert who is trained in that. So electrolysis can permanently remove unwanted hair, but once hair is gone, you won't need maintenance treatments because it permanently destroys the follicle from which the hair grows. So once it is removed, it is removed. It is gone forever. And it works on all hair types, including light colored hairs, which lasers cannot remove, and there's no downtime. And if your operator uses unsterile probes, it can cause skin or blood infection. So these probes, which go into your skin, deep down to follicle, have to be sterilized. Otherwise, the infection can reach your follicle and it can infect your body. So make sure these probes are sterilized, and in inexperienced hands, electrolysis can cause scarring and burns. So always watch out for an expert. People with darker skin can develop a type of raised scar called keloid. And some people say electrolysis feels uncomfortable or painful because each time a hair is treated, you feel a stinging stench, like a bee sting or ant sting, you'll feel that pain, stinging sensation. So if hair removal is causing a skin problem or suddenly you have a lot more, sometimes this also happens, especially men have observed, or young boys or men have observed initially the first shave, after first shave, you see a lot of hair being grown. So similarly, you will also observe when you have shaved or when you have removed your hair, you can see immediately after that more hair is grown in that area because that stimulates that area, and you can see that also is quite natural to happen. And again, it depends on the removal techniques you have used. So suddenly you may see a lot more unwanted hair. So in that case, you immediately consult a dermatologist and see and explain what's happening and what you have done and recommend the right treatment or the right option for you. So these are different methods which are quite popular. Other methods are also there. These are quite popular ones. And there are few herbal, these home remedies I have told you already. I will give you a few more. Sugar, lemon, honey, and hot water. To remove facial hair at home, mix a tablespoon of sugar, lemon juice, and honey. You have to be careful of application of honey, especially on hair, because it helps to graying of hair. So make sure you cautiously use, especially honey. So what you can do, that main is preparation is very important. If you don't prepare properly, again, it can lead to some other concerns. So mix a tablespoon of sugar, lemon juice, and honey. Now heat it on a constant temperature, not too hot, not too, low temperature, until that it becomes like a syrup, a thick syrup, so that you can apply. And add a little hot water to adjust the consistency. If it is too thick or too thin, too thick, you can add some hot water to adjust the consistency and apply on your body, hair, or wherever it is, facial hair, and let it dry. Now use a wax strip and pull against the direction of your hair growth to remove the facial hair or any part of the body. So while sugar is a natural exfoliator, why sugar? Because it's a natural exfoliator. Lemon juice helps clear off dead skin scales. This lemon juice is used. We have 3 ingredients now: sugar, lemon juice, and honey. So this sugar is a natural exfoliator. Lemon juice helps clear off dead skin scales. And honey moisturizes your skin, and its antibacterial properties prevent infection and pain, acne. So that's why these 3 ingredients, if you apply, this is a home remedy, you can get rid of the unwanted hair. Of course, there are so many, and again, it depends, it works better. It works, but how effectively, again, it depends from person to person. But definitely there will be some effect. So another remedy is gram flour and curd. Make a thick paste with a tablespoon of gram flour and half a tablespoon of curd. Add water if required. Apply and then let it dry for 15 minutes. So you make a thick paste of a tablespoon of gram flour and half tablespoon of curd. Mix it well, add water if required, and apply it on the body part where you want to remove the hair. And leave it for 15 minutes. Now gently scrub against the direction of your body hair or facial hair growth and wash it off. Like if the hair is pointing outside, so you should scrub it off towards the end of the hair so that, you'll be washing off the hair. So both gram flour and curd are known for their exfoliation and skin brightening properties. Using them to remove facial hair also helps improve your overall skin tone. These are safe methods. There is nothing harm. Sugar we are using, lemon juice we are using, honey we are using, gram flour we are using almost daily, or curd we are using daily. So nothing wrong in trying them, and they are also absolutely safe. No harm to your skin. Okay. And we have many remedies like that. We can use masoor dal and turmeric also. Both ingredients with water. You can make a paste. Apply this on your facial areas or, any area that has hair, experiencing hair growth. Let it sit for about 20 minutes before you gently scrub and wash off with lukewarm water. So this is also, like similar properties. Masoor dal also exfoliates your skin and removes facial hair naturally. Turmeric prevents skin inflammation, acne, uneven skin tone, and infection. That's why, these our ancient, since ages, we were using this turmeric powder, especially for girls and women. You apply daily, you apply turmeric powder, paste to entire body and take bath. And no unwanted hair and skin is always healthy. And similarly, this bath powder, herbal bath powder, and similarly with sandalwood powder. So that's why we have been following since ages and no side effects. But nowadays, the modern, in modern times, girls and women have forgot applying turmeric or sandalwood powder or this herbal homemade powders. Now we all are using these cosmetics, chemical soaps and all. So that's why these problems. And Can also use aloe vera also, or aloe vera and milk also. And you can also use oatmeal, avocado, milk also. There are many things are there, but you try whichever works for you, actually, And also, if you want to try with diet and nutrition, now you need to consume estrogen balancing foods, such as flax seeds, tofu, soy milk, sesame seeds, barley, dry foods, which can help reduce thick facial hair growth or body hair growth. So if you can consume this estrogen balancing, because estrogen is what which promotes hair growth, if you can control that, then generally the hair growth is also controlled. So these are various methods. And if you want ready-made Ayurvedic preparations, these are homemade remedies. If you want some Ayurvedic ready-made available, you can go to Ayurvedic stores and buy it, or you can prepare by yourself. You can use uptan, sun-dried datura seeds, add a spoon each of almond flour and wheat flour to it. Now add water as required to make a paste. Apply over the facial hair or the area where you have unwanted hair. Let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes. Once dried, gently massage against the direction of the hair growth and wipe it off with a damp cloth. So it not only removes facial hair naturally, but also prevents dry skin, pigmentation, premature skin aging due to presence of vitamin C and vitamin E. So this is also natural remedy. And apart from that, you have Tanaka powder and Kusumba, that is safflower oil in combinations, is a permanent facial hair removal or body hair removal treatment. If you want to permanently get rid of that, you can use this Tanaka powder and Kusumba, that is safflower oil, in combination, so that you can permanently remove the hair. It is also quoted frequently by various beauty experts also. So mix the ingredients in equal parts and apply on your facial hair. Gently massage it for 5 to 10 minutes and wash off. Repeat regularly to prevent further hair growth. If you see any hair growth appearing back again, you can apply. Whenever, wherever required, you can apply and do it to prevent further hair on any part of the body. Especially this is, we are talking in context of hair on breast, and it is also safe also. And especially on sensitive skin. And herbal oils also there, like frequent warm, it should be lukewarm. Frequent lukewarm oil massages may remove facial hair permanently. So that's why, we used to, before bath, we used to apply oil and massage, do massage and then go for bath in earlier days. Now also, still it is practiced both for men and women. Why? Because it keeps us healthy, but we almost, many of us don't follow them. Nowadays, no time at all in the very first place. And we want instant, kind of use, and that's why we all are using all chemicals, lotions, creams, whatnot. So this is causing a lot of skin problems and cancers. Today, cancer capital, how it has come, because use of all these chemicals, eating chemicals, applying chemicals, inhaling chemicals, drinking chemicals. So here, which oil can be used? Castor oil, coconut oil, sesame oil, mustard oil. These are commonly used oils. Coconut oil is widely available. Mustard oil, sesame oil, castor oil. And these are easily available anywhere. You can go procure one, do good massage to the entire body or wherever you don't want hair. It will also, it just not only serves removal of hair, but also a lot of benefits for it. And especially wax also, this waxing, you can use chemical, instead of chemical wax, you can use herbal wax. So you will get herbal wax instead of chemical wax, you can use herbal wax. And for body hair epilation, you can also certain oils and pastes are used, as already mentioned in the scriptures. And also this Suddha or slaked lime in combination with hartal, arsenic trioxide paste, is also a recommendation from Vaishadhya Ratnavali. So that it says that bhasma of shells, conches, oyster shells is a combination with arsenic and trioxide is also mentioned in these texts for hair removal and treatment. But again, that can be a little bit toxic. And apart from that, as already mentioned, clinically we use eflornithine HCl 13.9%, which is an FDA approved tropical prescription for facial hair growth cream. So these are also various other methods. So now you have all the choices. Of course, there are many choices, but due to paucity of time, I'm not getting. I'm not taking up everything. Now you have, from whatever is available in your kitchen, you can get rid of hair using safe, organic. Daily you consume only. Turmeric you consume daily. Milk you consume daily. Oil you consume daily. And what is there? Honey, sugar. All these are available in every household. And you can easily get rid of it naturally without any extra expenditure and safely at your home. That's why we have to read our ancient scripts and learn science from it. Unfortunately, this is the problem. There is a lot of propaganda regarding our ancient scriptures, Vedas, Itihasas, Puranas, and various scriptures. Lot of, because they wanted to be ignorant. So they have cooked up a lot of stories, propaganda around those things, and we started neglecting them. And we completely became illiterate. We are completely have no idea what our ancient knowledge is. There is a whole lot of knowledge sitting there ideal. But because of a lot of propaganda and prophecies around created by the vested people with their vested interests, we are not going through it and we are losing a lot of things. And moreover, business houses, they don't want to us also to go through them, because again they will lose their business. So if they lose their business, they lose profits. Anyway, this is all a different altogether, this thing. So now hope this topic is also covered, And I don't think any other topics that needs to be discussed. Almost all the topics we have covered. So if anyone wants any other topic which you think have not been covered in this entire week, you can share in the chat box so that if anything else is missing, we can cover it now quickly. Otherwise, what we thought, what were part of this conference agenda has been covered as per schedule, as per all the topics have been covered without missing any. In fact, we have added few more topics also. And okay, if there are no queries, or if you have any queries, feedbacks, questions, you can leave it in the chat box. Okay, then we'll move on to our next session by Virendra Kumarji. Before that, kindly hold on because this is the last day. There will be an overall feedback form also. So you can give feedback for this session. So our next presentation will be by Virendra Kumarji. So we request Virendra Kumarji, you can also quickly fill up the feedback form. Once you are done, you can raise your hand so that I can make you co-host. Because once you are made co-host, you will not get an opportunity to fill the feedback form. And all others, quickly fill up the feedback form and stay back. Don't leave the platform. So we request everyone to quickly fill the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls. In Zoom platform, it is not available outside the platform. We have 5 minutes for the feedback form. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form. And stay back, do not leave. Our next presentation will be by Virendra Kumar M. Thakurji on infant milk foods, feeding bottles and infant foods regulation of production, supply and distribution act 1992. He is assistant professor in computer science and engineering, Govind Vallabh Pant Institute of Engineering and Technology, Garhwal, Uttarakhand, and he is also an RTA resource person and advocate. So we welcome you, sir, for your presentation. You can unmute yourself and start your presentation. Start your video. Can minimize the feedback while others are filling it so that you can continue your session.
Yes. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. My video is also on, I think.
We can't see you, sir.
Even I can't see my face. There seems to be, well, in video, the port is connected.
I think something is covering your camera. Or maybe
Yes, that is. Actually, there are two cameras, and I have not selected the right one. It should be. No, this is virtual camera. This is. I'm going to video settings and selecting another one. No.
I think this is a camera, but you need to adjust.
Camera is correct, but there is some.
Maybe you can clean the camera lens, the surface.
Yes.
Is blurred, or you have to adjust the lens.
Actually, it has not yet detected that another port. I have mounted external camera on my laptop. Inner camera.
No, so camera has been detected, but I think you need, if there is any adjustment of lens, you can rotate it, or maybe you can move forward or backward.
No, that's fine.
We are having a blur vision actually.
Yes, even I'm not able to see myself clearly. Maybe I'll insert this in another port. Yes, now it's detected. And now it should be very clear. I hope so. Is it, sir? Yes. It's actually named integrated camera, and that was not being detected. Now it's okay.
Now it's fine.
Still the lighting behind, and that could be a somewhat problem. Yes. May I start, sir?
Yeah, your screen is also visible. Please continue.
Yes, I will share my screen. Yes. Well, in this breastfeeding week, we have a very important law in India, that is infant milk foods, feeding bottles, and infant foods regulation and production.
Sir, your voice is low. You can bring your mic closer to mouthpiece or increase the volume.
Volume is
to maximum.
Volume is 100%. Distance is okay, but I think mic that I have selected
Then you select the headphones mic if you are using
Another
headphones.
mic now. Is it clear now, sir?
No, sir, still low only.
Still low.
Ah.
There are two mics also. So one is the laptop internal mic and another one is the I'm going to audio setting. Microphone, Realtek. Is it any better now, sir?
No, it's more or less same only.
Then what I would do is I will log in from my mobile phone also, and I will use mobile camera for. I think that would solve the problem.
You can use the mic.
And I can use sharing from laptop. And
now it's fine, sir.
Is it okay? Voice is okay, sir?
Now it's okay.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll continue from laptop itself, no problem. Okay. Yes, now I'm seeing it is clear on my audio settings also. Okay.
Yes, please continue.
So this is very important as of 1992. It regulates the production, supply, and distribution of infant milk foods, feeding bottles, and infant foods. There was one major amendment that was made in 2003 to this Act. So we shall see the Act along with the amendments, and there were two important notifications and two rules that have been formed to this Act. So we shall see about those also at appropriate places. It's a small act, just say about 30 sections. So it's an act to provide for the regulation of production, supply, and distribution of infant.
Sir, again the voice is low.
Voice is low?
Sir.
Let me check my. Is it any better now, sir?
No, sir. Maybe you can bring that mic closer to your mouth.
Yes. Okay. Was the
now it's fine.
Yes. Distance was the problem. Yes.
Distance. Yeah. Yes.
So it's an act to provide for the regulation of production, supply, and distribution of infant milk substitute, feeding bottles, and infant food with a view to the production and promotion of breastfeeding. Because the infant milk substitutes are used instead of breastfeeding, and to promote breastfeeding because that is good for the health of mother as well as the infant, and therefore to encourage that regulation of infant milk substitute and feeding bottles and infant foods was say found desirable, and therefore in 1992 this act was brought. And ensuring the proper use of infant food and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. That means there is not complete ban, but what directions they have to follow as far as the advertisement and say other marketing tactics are concerned. So these are regulated by this act. So be enacted by Parliament in the 43rd year of the Republic of India as follows. So this was an act that came into effect from 29th December 1992. The short title is Infant Milk Substitute, Feeding Bottles, and Infant Foods Regulation of Production, Supply, and Distribution Act 1992. It extends to the whole of India, and it shall come into force on such date as the central government may by notification in the official gazette appoint. So it came into effect from 1st August 1993, and after 1st August, that is a breastfeeding day. Say it's almost say 20 almost 30 years have passed after this act was passed. Some important definitions we shall see. Firstly, because it regulates the advertisement. So advertisement is defined. All the definitions are in alphabetical order in here, like in any other act. So it includes any notice, circular, label, wrapper, or any other document or visible representation or announcement made by means of any light, sound, smoke, or gas, or by means of electronic transmission, or by audio or visual transmission. So all print, audio, visual advertisement are included within it. Then the container. So that also includes say box, bottle, or say casket, tin, can, barrel, case, whatever may be the container, tube, receptacle, sack, wrapper, or other thing in which any infant milk substitute, feeding bottle, or infant food is placed or packed for sale or distribution. Then feeding bottle means any bottle or receptacle used for the purpose of feeding infant milk substitute and includes a lid and a valve attached or capable of being attached to such bottle or receptacle, what we call as nipple of that bottle. So this is defined as feeding bottle. Then healthcare system. It means an institution or organization engaged either directly or indirectly in healthcare for mother, infant, or pregnant woman, and includes a health worker, a private practice, a pharmacy, drugstore, and any association of health workers. So there are some duties, say, and recognition for healthcare system, and that we shall see subsequently in the other section. Health worker means a person who engages in healthcare for mother, infant, or pregnant woman. Normally, the NGOs say look after these children between the 0 to 1 year of age.
Sir, again the voice is low.
Between 0 and 2 years of age. Is it because of, I don't know whether it is network problem or should I switch to my mobile phone, because that doesn't have any voice problem.
Answer.
Yes, so I am connecting it from. Yes. Okay. You may please make me co-host on that other device also.
Yeah, just.
And there is echo, so I am.
Now you can use that mic also.
Yes, the second mic is on and the speaker I am making off so that there is no echo because of two devices. Okay. How this would be even more convenient to me. Is my voice clear now, sir?
Yes, sir. Now it's good.
Okay. Because here that distance problem is not there and voice quality on mobile phone is very good. I found in some other conferences also. Okay. So health worker here means a person engaged in healthcare for mothers, infants, or pregnant women, normally between, say, children between 0 to 1 years of age and then 1 to 2 years of age. So these are taken care of by, health workers. Infant food means any food by whatever name called, being marketed or otherwise represented as a complement to mother's milk to meet the growing nutritional needs of the infant. That is after the age of 6 months and up to the age of 2 years. So this age is also defined here, where the infant milk substitutes are considered the necessary to supplement the mother's milk. Then we continue further with the definitions. Infant milk substitute means any food being marketed or otherwise represented as a partial or total replacement for mother's milk. That is for infant up to the age of 2 years. Earlier, the advertisements were such that these infant milk substitutes were depicted better than mother's milk. So now there have been some restrictions on the advertisements being made. Label means a display of written, marked, stamped, printed, or graphic matter affixed to or appearing upon any container. Then prescribed means prescribed by rules made under this act. So the rule making powers are also there. And then promotion means to employ directly or indirectly any method of encouraging any person to purchase or use infant milk substitute, feeding bottle, or infant food. So that is considered as promotion. That is, we can say it is a promotion as understood in marketing management, promotion of goods, promotion of sales. So that is the definition of promotion here. And any reference in this act to any other enactments or any provision thereof shall, in relation to an area in which such enactments or such provision is not in force, be construed as a reference to the corresponding law or the relevant provision of the corresponding law, if any, in force in that area. So it could be, as per the law applicable to that particular region. Then we see certain prohibitions, because the problem was some undesirable types of advertisements were made where these products were being shown as more, or better than, mother's milk.
And to restrict such types of advertisement, this restriction was put that no person shall advertise or take part in the publication of any advertisement for the distribution, sale or supply of infant milk substitute or feeding bottles or infant foods. So these advertisements were restricted. Secondly, give an impression or create a belief in any manner that feeding of infant milk substitute and infant foods are equivalent to or better than mother's milk. So these type of advertisements can't be put where they discourage, breastfeeding. Then take part in the promotion of infant milk substitutes, feeding bottles, or infant foods. So, like say making use of celebrities or such other things. So these types of restrictions are made as far as the advertisements are concerned. Then we come to the next one. That is section 4. So prohibition of incentives for use or sale of infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infant foods. So even the incentives can't be offered now. No person shall supply or distribute samples of infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infant foods for gifts of utensils or other articles. That is, it can't be given away in exchange of these things. So this restriction was put so that besides sale, if it is being promoted through other means, then even that can be regulated. Then contact any pregnant woman or the mother of an infant. So this was there, and or offer inducement of any other kind for the purpose of promoting the use or sale of infant milk substitute or feeding bottles or infant foods. So these are the restrictions that are being made in section 3 as well as in section 4 of this act. So these two types of prohibitions are made. Then we come to the next one, that is section 5. Donations of infant milk substitutes or feeding of equipment or materials relating thereto. So subject to the provisions of subsection 4 of section 8, no person shall donate or distribute, that is even giving away them free of cost, that is also prohibited. So donations are prohibited here. No person shall donate or distribute infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infant foods to any other person except to an orphanage. So only for orphanages or where infants are maintained, or brought up, or maybe abandoned children. There it is allowed. In other places, this is not permissible. Donations are not allowed. Any informational or educational equipment or material relating to infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infant foods. So even this information and promotion educational equipment or material is prohibited, provided that nothing in this law shall apply to the donation or distribution subject to such conditions and restrictions as it may be prescribed of such equipment or material through the healthcare system. That means the government through its healthcare system could promote these as felt desirable by them. So except that, all the other types, that is for commercial purpose, these types of advertisements are not allowed. So that is a major restriction that has been imposed here. Then we come to the next section, that is 6. Information or containers and labels or infant milk substitutes or infant foods. So what types of labels should be maintained? So for that the laws are made, that is without prejudice to the generality of foregoing provision. So in particular, what can be the restrictions that are given here? That is Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954 and the rules made thereunder. No person shall produce, supply or distribute any infant milk substitute or infant food unless every container thereof or any label affixed thereto indicates in a clear, conspicuous, that is the font size, etc., should be such that it should be clearly visible and in an easily readable and understandable manner the words important notice in capital letters and in such language as may be prescribed and indicating thereunder the following particulars in the same language, namely. So this type of notice is to be there. A statement, mother's milk is best for your baby, in capital letters. So this message or say this slogan or say statement has to be there that say mother's milk is the best for your baby. This is compulsory on all such products. Secondly, A statement that infant milk substitute or infant food should be used only on the advice of a health worker as to the need for its use and the proper method of its use. So this statement should also be there. Then a warning that infant milk substitute or infant food is not the sole source of nourishment of an infant. That means there could be other substitutes or foods also, or maybe say breastfeeding itself. The instructions for its appropriate preparation and a warning against the health hazards of its inappropriate preparation, because there are many say problems because of the preparation, since it's a perishable product, and if appropriate care is not taken, then even that could lead to problems for the say infant. The ingredients used, that is what are the contents of that say food substitute, then the composition or analysis, and the storage conditions required, that is if any temperature or refrigeration or other say that is exposure to sunlight is appropriate or not, whatever may be the storage conditions, so that should be printed. And then the batch number, date of its manufacturing, and the date before which it is to be consumed, that is what we call as the expiry date, taking into account the climatic and storage conditions of the country and such other particulars as may be prescribed. So this is the information on labels that is compulsory. Then subsection 2, no container or label referred to in subsection 1 relating to infant milk substitute or infant food shall, clause A, have pictures of an infant or woman or both. So these pictures can't be published. That is picture of an infant or a woman, or maybe say woman or both, and have pictures of or other graphic material or phrases designed to increase the sellability of infant milk substitute or infant food. So any type of promotional say pictures or graphic material is prohibited. Use on it the word humanized or maternalized or any other similar word. We know even in case of mineral water, actually it is demineralized water, and therefore the word mineral water was prohibited, and now they use the word drinking water. So the word mineral is completely misleading because it is actually demineralized water. So similarly here, the word humanized or maternalized, these words can't be used. Bear on it such other particulars as may be prescribed. So as we have seen, many changes were made in the year 2003 that came into effect on 1st November 2003. Then we see 7th section, educational and other materials relating to feeding of infants to contain certain particulars. So whatever material is there for say consumer training or for say instructions for consumers. So every educational or other material, including advertisements or material relating to promotion of infant milk substitutes, feeding bottles and infant foods, whether audio or visual, dealing with prenatal or postnatal care or with the feeding of an infant and intended to reach pregnant women or mothers of infants, shall include clear information relating to, firstly, the benefits and superiority of breastfeeding. Second, the preparation for and the continuance of breastfeeding. That is, it is just a supplement intended. It is not supposed to replace the breastfeeding. And the harmful effects on breastfeeding due to the partial adoption of bottle feeding. So these harmful effects also have to be there in the educational material. Then we come to the next clause, D. The difficulties in reverting to breastfeeding of infants after a period of feeding by infant milk substitute. That is, once it is started, then it is very difficult to revert back to breastfeeding. So these difficulties should also be explained so that it should be a one-way and not a reversible process. Then the financial and social implications in making use of infant milk substitutes and feeding bottles. So these should also be printed. The health hazards of improper use of infant milk substitutes and feeding bottles, because cleaning or say unclean bottles, that is the major problem. And if unclean bottles are used, or say if beyond a particular life the bottles are used, that could have an adverse impact on the child, on the infant's health. And the date of printing and publication of such material and the name of the printer and publisher, and such other matters as may be prescribed. So these are the say things that need to be particulars that need to be printed on educational and other materials. Second subsection, no material referred to in subsection 1 shall be utilized to promote the use or sale of infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infant foods. That is, it should not contain any type of say promotion or sale of these milk substitutes. Then the healthcare system. So no person shall use any healthcare system for the display of placards or posters relating to or for the distribution of materials for the purpose of promoting the use or sale of infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infant foods. Generally, as we see, medical representatives use these promotions, that is, give some free samples to doctors or nurses or to hospitals, and so that they can promote their brands. So to discourage that, these restrictions were put on the healthcare system, provided that the provisions of this subsection shall not apply to. So there is exemption clause. The donation or distribution of international or say informational or educational equipment or material made in accordance with the provision 2 clause B of section 5, that is if it is to orphanage, and the dissemination of information to a health worker about the scientific and factual matters relating to the use of infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infant foods, along with the information specified in subsection 1 of section 7, that is to healthcare workers or say ASHA workers or say the hospital staff or nurses. So in training, such information may be used. So this is an exemption so that they can do the comparison and understand advantages and disadvantages. No person who produces, supplies, distributes, or sells infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infant foods shall make any payment to any person who works in the healthcare system for the purpose of promoting the use or sale of such substitutes or bottles or foods. So this is also prohibited. They cannot give any types of say gifts or such other things. No person other than a health worker shall demonstrate feeding with infant milk substitutes or infant foods to a mother of an infant or to any member of her family, and such health worker shall also clearly explain to such mother of such other member the hazards of improper use of infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infrastructure. So while training, the health workers also have to inform about this to the say lactating or say mothers, breastfeeding mothers. Then no person other than an institution or organization engaged in healthcare for mothers, infants, or pregnant women shall distribute infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles to a mother who cannot resort to breastfeeding and who cannot afford to purchase infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles. So in some cases, it is absolutely essential. So in such cases, the relaxation is made here. And an orphanage may purchase infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles at a price lower than their sale price for the purpose of utilizing them in the said orphanage. So orphanages are allowed to do this. So, and for the purposes of this subsection, such purchases shall not amount to an individual amount to an inducement for promoting the use or sale of infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles. That means giving discount on such sale to orphanages is permissible, and it won't amount to say unfair practice, or it is not prohibited. Then the inducement to health worker or promoting use of infant milk substitutes, etc. As normally they give away some free samples, etc. to doctors, nurses, hospitals. So to discourage that, the section 9 was introduced. No person who produces, supplies, distributes, or sells infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infant foods shall offer or give directly or indirectly any financial inducements or gifts to a health worker or to any member of his family for the purposes of promoting the use of such substitutes or say bottles or foods. Second subsection, no producer, supplier, or distributor referred to in subsection 1 shall offer or give any contribution or pecuniary benefit to a health worker. That is, no inducement can be given, or any association of health workers, including funding of say seminar, meeting, conference, educational course, contest, fellowship, research work, or sponsorship. That is, it should not be in cash or in kind. So any type of such promotional things or sponsorship, these are also prohibited as per this section. So this was introduced in 2003, because after the act was enacted in 1992, it was followed that say companies are resorting to such tactics. The section 10, special provision relating to employees of persons who produces, supplies, distributes, or sells infant milk substitutes, etc. So no person who produces, supplies, distributes, or sells infant milk substitute or feeding bottles or infant food shall fix the remuneration of any of his employees or give any commission to such employees as the basis of the volume of sale of such substitutes or bottles or foods made by such employee. Because there are three types of wages, that is time, that is daily, weekly, monthly salary. Another is by piece, that is how much sales they make on that basis. And third is the hybrid, that is there is some time as well as say volume of sales. So here, as far as the sales persons are there, so it can't be based on say their salaries or say incentives can't be based on the volume of sale. That means these type of, so that they do not resort to some unethical practices. The employees of such person shall not perform any function which relates to educating a pregnant woman or mother of an infant or prenatal or postnatal care of the infant. So even they cannot do any types of educational, because that role is supposed to be done by the healthcare workers, and the salesman shall not do these types of education or training the mother. Section 11, standards of infant milk substitutes, that is feeding bottles or infant food. So no person shall sell or otherwise distribute any infant milk substitute or other food unless it conforms to the standards specified for such substitute or food under the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954 and the rules made thereunder. It is applicable to all types of foods, and the container thereof has the relevant standard milk specified by the Bureau of Indian Standards, which was earlier called as Indian Standards Institution. So this BIS specifies the standards established under Section 3 of the BIS Act 1986 to indicate that the infant milk substitute or infant food conform to such standards. So it has to be this ISI mark. Provided that where no standards have been specified for any infant milk substitute or infant food under the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954, no person shall sell or otherwise distribute such substitute or food unless he has obtained the approval of the central government in relation to such substitute or food and the labels prefixed to the container thereof under the rules made under that act. So if there are no standards, then the permission of central government has to be obtained. Second subsection, no person shall sell or otherwise distribute any feeding bottle unless it performs for the standard mark specified in the Bureau of Indian Standards referred to in subsection 1 for feeding bottles, and such mark is affixed on its container. So ISI mark is made compulsory. The section 12, that is powers of entry and search. So any food inspector appointed under section 9 of the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954, hereinafter referred to as the food inspector, or any officer not below the rank of a class 1 officer authorized in this behalf by the state government, hereinafter referred to as an authorized officer, may, if he has any reason to believe that any provision of section 6 or section 11 has been or is being contravened, enter and search, that is powers to raid are given to these food inspectors, and search any reasonable at any reasonable time any factory, building, business premises or any other place where any trade or commerce in infant milk substitutes or feeding bottles or infant foods is carried on, or such substitutes or bottles or foods are produced, supplied or distributed. So this is the power of entry and search. And the provisions of the CRPC 1973 relating to searches and seizures shall, so far as may be, apply to every search or seizure made under this act. That is section 50 and 51. So the search procedure, standard procedure is given in Code of Criminal Procedure. So that shall apply. So these details are not given in this act. Then power to seize infant milk substitutes, etc., or containers thereof. So if anything objectionable is there, then power of seizure are there. So if any food inspector or an authorized officer has reason to believe that in respect of any infant milk substitute or feeding bottle or infant food or container thereof, the provisions of this act have been or are being contravened, he may seize a substitute or bottle or food or container, and of course take and seal those samples. No such substitute or food or bottle or container shall be retained by any food inspector or authorized officer for a period exceeding 90 days from the date of its seizure, because it's a perishable product. So within 3 months has to be followed, say, laboratory, unless the approval of the district judge within the local limits of which jurisdiction such seizure has been obtained for such retention. And then the confiscation of goods. So any infant milk substitutes or feeding bottle or infant food or container thereof in respect of which any provision of this act has been or is being contravened shall be liable to confiscation. Provided there is an exemption, provided that where it is established to the satisfaction of the court at judging the confiscation that the person in whose possession, power or control any such substitute or bottle or food or container is found is not responsible for the contravention of the provisions of this act, the court may, instead of making an order for the confiscation of such substitute bottle or food or container, make such other order authorized by the act against any person guilty of the breach of the provisions of this act as it may think fit. So instead of confiscation, other type of order may be made. Maybe, for example, say imposing penalty or maybe returning the goods to the owner. The power to give option to pay cost in lieu of confiscation. So this cost may be imposed. So whenever any confiscation is authorized by this act, the court adjudging it may subject to such conditions as may be specified in the order adjudging the confiscation, give to the owner thereof an option to pay in lieu of confiscation such cost not exceeding the value of the infant milk substitute. That means the quantity is also given. It should not exceed the value of the product itself, or feeding bottle or infant food container thereof, in respect of which the confiscation is authorized as the court thinks fit. And on payment of the cost ordered by the court, the seized infant milk substitute or feeding bottle or infant food or container shall be returned to the person from whom it was seized, on the condition that such person shall, before making any distribution, sale or supply of such substitute or bottle or food or container, give effect to the provisions of this act. So whatever be the violation, according to that violation will be stopped. And then confiscation not to interfere with other punishment. So other punishments may be applicable. It will not amount to double jeopardy. So no confiscation made or cost ordered to be paid under this act shall prevent the infliction of any punishment. It may be, say, food poisoning, some IPC offense, or some other things related to health. So it shall not prevent the infliction of any punishment to which the person affected thereby is liable under the provisions of this act or under any other law. It could be, say, Prevention of Food Adulteration Act or even Indian Penal Code. And then the adjudication. So any confiscation may be adjudged or costs may be ordered to be paid without any limit by the principal civil code of criminal original jurisdiction, within the local limits of which jurisdiction such confiscation has been made or costs have been ordered to be paid, as the case may be. So this order or cost up to without any limit can be done by the principal civil court of the district, subject to such limits as may be specified by the central government in this behalf by such other court not below a civil court having pecuniary jurisdiction exceeding 5,000 rupees, as the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, authorize in this behalf. So normally there are, say, this civil judge junior division, civil judge senior division, and they judge the matters, that is where the cost involved is less than 25,000, between 25,000 to 1 lakh, and above 1 lakh rupees. So here, subject to such limits, such other court not below a civil court having pecuniary jurisdiction exceeding 5,000 rupees, as the central government may notify for special courts for adjudging costs under this. And giving of opportunity to the owner of the seized infant food substitute or feeding bottle or infant food or container thereof. So as per principles of natural justice, a notice or show cause notice shall be issued. No order adjudicating confiscation or directing payment of cost shall be made unless the owner of the infant milk substitute or feeding bottle or infant food or container thereof has been given a notice in writing informing him of the grounds on which it is proposed to confiscate such substitute or bottle or food or container, and giving him a reasonable opportunity of making a representation in writing within such a reasonable time as may be specified in the notice against the confiscation, and if he so desires, of being heard in the matter. Provided that when no such notice is given within a period of 90 days from the date of the seizure of the infant milk substitute or feeding bottle or infant food or the container thereof, so substitute or bottle or food or container shall be returned after the expiry of that period to the person from whose possession it was seized. So this is the maximum limitation. Within 3 months notice has to be issued. Otherwise, item will have to be returned. So as otherwise provided in subsection 1, the provisions of the Code of Civil Procedure shall so far as may be applied to every proceeding referred to in subsection 1. So no criminal proceedings, but the CPC Code of Civil Procedure shall be followed. Then the appeal. So there will be an appeal against the order of, say, adjudicating officer. Any person aggrieved by any decision of the court adjudicating a confiscation or ordering of payment of costs, only 2 types of penalties are there: confiscation and the costs. May prefer an appeal to the court to which an appeal has appeal lies from the decision of such court. That means generally the High Court, because above principal civil court there is High Court. The appellate court may, after giving the appellant an opportunity of being heard, pass such order as it thinks fit, confirming, modifying, or revising the decision or order appealed against, or may send back the case with such directions as it may think fit for a fresh decision or adjudication. That is, case may even be reverted to the lower court, again, as the case may be, after taking additional evidence if necessary. So this is the provision for appeal. Provided that an order enhancing any fine in lieu of confiscation or for confiscating goods of greater value shall not be made under this section unless the appellant has had an opportunity of making a representation, and if he so desires, of being heard in his defense. That means if lower court has given, principal civil court has imposed some the cost or some confiscation. And if that penalty has to be enhanced, then again a notice has to be given by the High Court. That is, an opportunity has to be given if the punishment is sought to be increased or enhanced. No further appeal shall lie against the order of the court made under subsection 2. So no appeal against such order shall lie, but of course writ jurisdiction is there under the Constitution. That means matter can then go to Supreme Court if necessary. Then coming to the penal provisions. So in penalty, any person who contravenes the provisions of sections 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 or subsection 3 of section 11 and the rules made under section 26 of the Act. So 2 rules have been made, as we shall see in section 26, shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years, or with fine which may extend to 5,000 rupees, or with both. So generally these cases are triable by JM first class. So JM first class has the powers of this 3 years imprisonment and 5,000 rupees. Normal powers are up to 10,000 rupees, but here the penalty is 3 years of and or with fine, or both. Any person who contravenes the provisions of section 6 or subsection 1 of section 11 and the rules made under section 26 of the Act. Earlier it was only Act. Now even the contravention of rules is included within the penal provision. Shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 6 months, but which may extend to 3 years, and with fine which shall not be less than 2,000 rupees. So punishment is minimum 6 months. So from 6 months to 2 years and 3 years, and maximum, and there could be fine of 2,000 also. Provided that the court may, for any adequate and special reasons to be mentioned in the judgment, impose sentence of imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 3 months, but which may extend to 2 years, and with fine which shall not be less than 1,000 rupees. So a lower punishment may be there, but then reasons have to be recorded in writing if the imprisonment has to be up to 3 months or 1,000 only. Then the cognizance. Who can take the cognizance? So save as otherwise provided in section 173 of the CRPC, no court shall take cognizance of any offence punishable under this Act except under a complaint in writing made by a person authorized in this behalf under subsection 1 of section 20 of the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. There is a list given of 4 institutions that have been allowed to make complaint. So only they can make complaint. We shall see that after this. So 2 notifications have been issued by the central government. So only authorized person can make, person who is authorized for Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, an officer not below the rank of a class 1 officer authorized in this behalf by general or special order by the government, or a representative of such voluntary organization engaged in the field of child welfare and development and child nutrition as the government may, by notification in the official gazette, authorize in this behalf. Accordingly, 2 notifications have been issued in the official gazette by the central government. We shall see it after this. Where a complaint has been made by a representative of the voluntary organization authorized under clause C of subsection 1 and the court has issued a summons, or as the case may be a warrant, because punishment is more than 2 years. So if it is more than 2 years, warrant has to be issued, arrest warrant. A warrant under subsection 1 of section 204 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, that is in complaint cases, the assistant public prosecutor for that court shall take charge of the case and conduct the prosecution. So after the cognizance, the trial may start. Now these are the organizations that have been notified in India. So the central government has authorized the following voluntary organizations engaged in the field of child welfare and development and child nutrition to make a complaint in writing under clause A of subsection 1 of section 21. This is not part of the Act, but these are the under the notifications issued under this Act. So 2 notifications have been issued, one on 1994, where the 3 associations were recognized, and in 1994, the last one, that is BNPI. So these include Central Social Welfare Board, New Delhi, Indian Council for Child Welfare, New Delhi, Akash, that is Association for Consumer Action on Safety and Health, Bombay, and Breastfeeding Network Promotion of India, BNPI, Delhi. So these are the only 4 organizations that under this clause C of subsection 1 can make complaint. Then we see the offenses by companies. So where an offense under this Act has been committed by a company, every person who at the time the offense was committed was in charge of and was responsible to the company for the conduct of the business of the company, as well as the company, generally the manufacturers of infant foods. So they shall be deemed to be guilty of the offense and shall be liable to be prosecuted against and punished accordingly, provided that nothing contained in this subsection shall render any such person liable to any punishment if he proves that the offence was committed without his knowledge or that he had exercised all due diligence to prevent the commission of such offence. And second subsection, notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1, where any offence under this section has been committed by a company and it is proved that the offence has been committed with the consent or connivance of or is attributable to any neglect on the part of any director, manager, secretary or other officer of the company, such director, manager, secretary or other officer shall also be deemed to be guilty of the offence and shall be liable to be proceeded against and punished accordingly. So these office bearers can be punished. And for the purpose of this section, company includes a firm also. So it could be a partnership also. Company does not mean here the company registered under Companies Act. It includes firm under Partnership Act also. So it means any body corporate and includes a firm of or other association of individuals, and director in relation to a firm means a partner in the firm. Then offences to be cognizable and bailable. So cognizable means arrest without warrant can be done. So no warrant needs to be brought from the court. So notwithstanding anything contained in the code of CRPC, that is, this is an overriding punishment. So whatever has been written in CRPC, but this shall prevail. The offences shall be bailable and cognizable. So arrest without warrant can be done, but they will be bailable. So bail can be given. An offence punishable under this act shall be bailable and cognizable. This is as far as the procedure is concerned. Then the protection of action taken in good faith. So no suit, that means civil case, or prosecution, that is criminal trial, or other legal proceeding shall lie against the central government or any state government or any officer of the central government or representative of such voluntary organization which is notified under clause C of subsection 1 of section 21 for anything which is in good faith done or intended to be done under this act. So even these complaint makers of these 4 organizations that we have seen under section 22 are also protected for action taken in good faith from all legal proceedings. Then application of Act 37 of 1954 not barred, that is the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act. So the provisions of this act or the rules made thereunder shall be in addition to and not in derogation of the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954 or the rules made thereunder. That means if there is any food adulteration, then action can be taken under both these acts simultaneously or one after the other, and it won't amount to double jeopardy. That means it won't be against the provision of Constitution Article 20 clause 2 that nobody shall be punished twice for the same offense. So that provision shall not apply in such cases. Then power to make rules. So now finally we come to the rules, and what are the 2 different rules are there. We shall not go into details of such rules, but the contents are given here in the main act itself. The central government may, by notification in the official gazette, make rules to carry out the provisions of this act, in particular and without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing power. Such rules may provide for all or any of the following matters, namely, the conditions and restrictions subject to which educational equipment and other material may be donated or distributed under the provision to clause B of section 5. So rules can be made for section 5. The language in which the notice and other particulars shall be indicated under subsection 1 of section 6. So rule could be under 5B or it could be under 6.1, or there could be 6.1I. So particulars which are to be indicated under clause 1 of section 1 of section 6, and the particulars which a container or label shall not bear under clause D of subsection 2 of section 6, and the matter should be included in the information which reaches pregnant women or mothers of infants under clause G of subsection 1 of section 7, and any other matter which is required to be or may be prescribed. Accordingly, 2 rules have been made that we shall see after this. Every rule made under this act is the procedure. So they shall be laid before the Parliament or Assembly, shall be laid as soon as maybe after it is made before such each House of Parliament where it is in session for a total period of 30 days, which may be comprised in one session or in 2 or more successive sessions. And if before the expiry of the session, immediately following the session or the successive sessions aforesaid, both houses agree in making any modification in the rule, or both houses agree that the rule should not be made, the rule made thereafter shall effect only in such modified form or be of no effect, as the case may be. So, however, that any such modification or annulment shall be without prejudice to the validity of anything previously done under that rule. So this shall be laid before the Parliament, both houses. So only central government has this rule-making power. These are the rules that have been prescribed. The first rules were made in 1993, which came into effect on 31st July, and the second rules were prescribed on 19th 19 December 2003. So after this Act of 92 was passed, the first rules were immediately made within 1 year, and then on 19 December, second rules were made when the Amendment Act was issued. So we end here this presentation. Thank you all for listening patiently. If there are any questions related to this act, you may ask, please. We have seen all 26 sections. I will see if chat box has any questions.
Yeah, dear friends, if you have any queries, feedback, you can use the chat box or you can unmute yourself. You can share. Okay, there are no queries, I think.
Okay, so thanks to Dr. Ravindra for inviting me, and thanks to She Holistic Health Foundation of India and She Research Institute and Center for Arts, Science and Wellbeing for giving me this opportunity for making this presentation. I think earlier also last year I had made, this time I have made certain improvement, that is the subordinate legislation, that is the rules and notification details have also been included, although we have not seen the rules in detail. So I hope this was useful to all to know about this important law in India. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Virendra Kumarji, for your wonderful session. Wish you all the success. And with this, we come to an end of this 1 week international seminar.
Thank you, sir.
There are few appreciation message, no questions. Thank you, all the participants. So with this, we come to an end. Hope this 1 week awareness which we have created through this international seminar have been successful with all your participation. And based on the attendance, those who have not registered and attended directly, we request them to register. We see a couple of them attending, joining, leaving. So those who have not registered, we request you to register. And those who have registered and attended, based on the feedback, we have shared the registration link for those who have not registered, and certificates will be issued on day-to-day basis based on the criteria. You have to be registered and you have to attend minimum amount of time on day-to-day basis to be eligible for a certificate for that day. And you need to provide feedback for the day and opt for the certificate. Then you will be issued a certificate for the day based on the eligibility criteria. So you can download the certificates from the website after 1 week of this closure of international seminar. If required, an external overall feedback form may be available on the website. You can check it within 24 hours. If there is any, you can fill the feedback form there, which will be in the form of Google Forms. Otherwise, this would suffice. So tomorrow, you can check within 24 hours. It will be updated on the website. If there is no other feedback form available, you can check after 1 week and you can download your certificates if you are eligible. So those who have not yet registered, those who have not yet provided feedback, we request everyone to quickly register and also provide the feedback. The overall feedback form has been raised in the form of polls. In the Zoom platform, we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, and we take this opportunity to everyone for joining us and for your continued support, especially those who have been attending regularly, and you have been part of this wonderful once in a lifetime series of continuous events, programs. And we express our heartfelt gratitude and also thank you all for joining us and making this 1 week international seminar successful. Hope you have learned various aspects, and the recordings will be available online on our YouTube channel, and a links will be also available on the website. You can visit the specific event web page where you can get all the information regarding the event. As there are multiple events that are happening on day-to-day basis, though the website is same, each event has a dedicated web page from the website where you can access all the information related to the particular event. And we are also happy to inform that the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav series is going to come to an end by this end of this month. There are few sessions that were missed, so we'll continue till that time. And this India G20 series will come to an end by December. So we'll continue till January. And United Nations Sustainable Development Goals will continue to create awareness as frequently as possible. So mostly till January, this regular series will continue, and do attend. All the certificates will be issued, those who were having the eligibility, and we will also float a common form, registration form, common feedback form once for the events, and a list of all the events, registration form, and wherever there is an application form, if there is an external feedback form, that will be also floated to all the participants, those who have missed registration for a particular event. You might have attended but did not register, or you might have attended but did not provide feedback. In such case, you can fill the registration form, and you can also fill the feedback form only for those who have attended, because earlier we got request, and because this entire program is part of the series. So we are as mentioned earlier, we have given opportunity to, as we have mentioned earlier also, we will provide opportunity. We will give opportunity for everyone, provided you complete your formalities in time. Already those who have, for every event, all the formalities has to be completed. As I mentioned, every event may have more or less similar formalities or more or less some additional formalities. Each event may have eligibility criteria set differently, especially certain events which are very short noticed may not have registration form, and certain events may not have minimum eligibility attendance criteria, and certain events may have a strict 100% criteria, and certain events may have 75% criteria, or so on. So actually this varies from event to event as specified in the event page, and in general we have an average of 65% attendance for each event. This is in general, plus attendance for inaugural and valedictory session. Otherwise, overall 75% of attendance for the entire program, irrespective of any session. So this is the general, in general, for all the events. In certain events, there is no minimum attendance criteria also. Again, it depends on the collaborator to encourage, motivate participants and all. So all these factors are considered, and accordingly for each event, do not assume anything. Always see that you read, go through the instructions carefully, you listen. That's why inaugural and valedictory are important, because the instructions for the particular event is mentioned. And everyone, those who are attending, will get certificate. We are there. Presently, we are also preoccupied with so many things. So website may be partially incomplete at certain, because of last minute changes, last minute additions, last minute registrations and presentations. Some portions of the website may have inadequate data, only because certain things are pending. We will all update it once and all the events are concluded by January, and we'll also float the registration forms. We'll also try to put everything under one roof. In one page where all the events, or at least on a monthly basis, where the event registration form, Google form, if available for that event, if applicable, and also the feedback form, if any, we'll try to locate them if it is still active, because sometimes after certain period, Google Forms become obsolete. There is a default policy. Again, it depends on from time to time. After some time, they become absolute and they no longer function. So we'll check if all the forms are active, because it's quite long time, almost 2 to 3 years. If we see if we can reopen the forms, and wherever it is applicable, we'll try to, if forms are working, we'll open and keep it for only for the ones. Do not register who are freshly, those who have not attended, basically. It's only for those who have attended, because now you cannot attend. Those who have not attended, don't register, because now the certain events have already passed. So for those past events, kindly do not register afresh. Only those who have attended or presented, could not complete formalities in time, for those we are giving an opportunity. You can register, and you can provide feedback also. Again, the same criteria follows eligibility. So we will again feed the system with the data. So those who have missed certificates because of non-completion of formalities or non-adherence to the or non-compliance to the instructions. We'll see if those who have missed your certificates as part of the non-completion or non-compliance, those certificates will verify everything and we will issue those any such cases. So no need to worry, we are there to help you as long as you are able to help yourselves. We are there, and we'll also, and soon the publication, the proceedings will be also, already we have initiated, we are preparing the data, and we will also update a registration form on the website for publication. Only those who have made presentations are only eligible for the publication. So those who are willing to publish, you are requested to register and try to utilize the opportunity on a daily basis or on a weekly, whenever slot is available. You can register and present your papers, research work, and all paper publications, whichever was presented, and those who have not yet published anywhere can publish it here. And as part of the proceedings, it will anyway come, but full paper will not come. So those who have full papers or some write-ups also can be sent only for those who presented. So you can start presenting. If any of your friends are interested, you can share your details and start presenting so that you will be eligible for the publication. And initially, there are two methods or ways of publication which we thought. One is our own publication, that is, our organization will publish. That is one without any cost. I mean, you will be provided with an ISBN number for the proceedings and for the full paper publication. That for that there is no charge. And we have also invited tenders, quotes from international publications, international publishers from US and other reputed, but they are quoting some charge because they cannot publish for free. So we have received different proposal, like at least you should buy. There is no charge as such, but at least you should buy a copy of that publication where your paper is published. So that was the best offer they have given. Generally, otherwise, you have to pay thousands of rupees and a strict peer review. But as the entire organization is taking up the peer review work, and they will also do some minimal peer review, and they are publishing, but we got the best deal. That is, every author, if they are opting for some other publications other than ours, so for them, they need to buy one publication, one book, or I mean, in whichever book or journal in which it is being published. So one copy you have to buy from them. Directly, we will provide a link. The publisher will give a link where you can pay it and get to your postal address directly. So that all the publisher will take care of, as they are doing, because they are reputed publishers and they are already doing that. So hope there would be no issues. Anyway, we are always there to help you in that case. Otherwise, if you cannot afford, or as usual, as we have mentioned, it's free only on our platform. So anyway, if you complete all the formalities for publication, we'll publish in our own this thing. So that will be a multidisciplinary based on, we are trying to divide it based on the discipline volumes. So maybe social sciences one volume, life sciences one volume, and maybe legal sciences, information sciences. We'll see, because not every presentation is a full paper presentation, and might be some might have already published somewhere else, or some might have not prepared, or we'll see all these, and depending on that, we will have section wise, discipline wise, all the papers will be categorized, and accordingly under each discipline will be having, depending on the number of papers, either it can be in multiple volumes or within a volume, a section for each discipline. So all that in detail, like now we are providing, that soon will come. So only request from our side, our invitation from our side is try to complete as many as presentations as possible, utilize all the opportunities on the platform to come up with innovative topics and presentations, and make best use of the knowledge. Anyway, YouTube you can listen, but you will not be getting certificate. So all the proceedings are available on the YouTube, and that will also be systemized and available in coming days, all at one location. But all these things are there, but at that time, if you watch on YouTube, you might not get certificate. So now use this opportunity, don't worry about certificates. It will come if you are genuinely attending and completing all the formalities. Only the time differs, but you will definitely get, as long as you are following us on the website, receiving updates and completing, and you are willing to cooperate with us in completing the formalities and using the respective formats. We will issue you, no need to worry, but always have patience and due respect. Respect, no matter what happens, respect is the most important thing, because most of the things get ruined. Because always we should keep communication open, no matter what happens. If we break the communication, that's all. That's the end of the communication. Then nothing happens after that. So all the benefits, those are lost, and there is no way forward. So it is always a genius or a clever person, a wise person is always who keeps the communication open. You have to wait, have the patience, because when we commit mistake, then we have to be more patient, having more patience and tolerance. And no platform offers such a benefit, I am sure, because I am also there. And no platform offers such a benefit, that is also sure. And no platform is offering free, that is also sure, for such a long time. And everyone want, and we also want everyone to get benefit of this. So we thank once again everyone. And there is an upcoming 10 days international conference. Try to utilize, register. We have already circulated the registration message, and it's available on the website. You can register and promote it. At least share with your friends, so that they also get the benefit of it. And when you are sharing them, ask them to complete the instructions in a timely basis. That is also important. So once again, we express our sincere gratitude, heartfelt gratitude to each and everyone for making this international seminar, 1 week international seminar, successful. And thank you, everyone. Take care. Good night. See you all tomorrow at 6 o'clock.